Hello, this is Robledo. Welcome to Season 5 of the ICSTC League. I am participating with Bearder Racing. I was invited by Bearder to join his team this season. I really appreciate him asking me, and it's an honor to team up with him for Season 5. The format is different for this season. We have qualifying, followed by a sprint race, which awards points. Then we will have another qualifying session for the main event. So here's the first qualifying session. We have 2 minutes to qualify for the sprint race. I put in a lot of practice this week, mainly so I don't embarrass myself. But also I want to make everyone proud, everyone that watches Bearder. I know last season they had a rough time with the competition. But this season we're in a lower division. So hopefully things will be better for Bearder and I, and we won't get blown out of the water in the competition. Here's the start of my first flying lap. We only get 2 minutes, so it's important I don't make any mistakes and be as perfect as I can. So far so good, I haven't made any mistakes, hit every apex, just gotta get a clean lap in. Looks like Bearder had some issues, but I ran a 37.9, that was the best lap I've ever done all week. I skipped ahead in the video and we qualified 8th for the sprint race. A little lower than I honestly was hoping for, considering all the practice I put in. So for the sprint race, there are no collisions, so not much really happened in this race. So I'm going to go ahead and speed it up, do a time lapse, and I'll see you guys after the sprint race. So that's it for the sprint race. I finished 8th. I think I could have gotten 7th if I didn't corner cut and get that penalty. But still got 5 points, which is good for the first race. Hopefully the bee noises from the sped up video didn't annoy you guys. I thought it was a bit amusing and satisfying to watch in the time lapse. But if the noise bothers you guys, let me know in the comments and I'll change that out for the next time. So here's the second qualifying session for the main event. This time around we get 3 minutes to set the fastest time we can. We can see a couple drivers, including Bearder, making mistakes on that right-hand turn. Luckily for them it was just the outlap. That right-hand turn Bearder spun at is so hard to get right. If you dip your tires just a little bit in the dirt and the grass, it spins your car right around. And you'll see that happen to me, unfortunately, later in the video. And around the final turn for my flying lap, and it is a 38.2, slightly slower than what I ran in the first qualifying session. So here I am again attempting a second lap, trying to improve. We are ghosted, but still these three drivers around me are kind of distracting. So I gotta block them out and just run as fast as I can. And don't let them distract me. But you can see right there, I just dipped my tires in the dirt, and fortunately, it did not spin me out. And I got very lucky. And here's the end of the lap. And it's a 38 flat, 0.2 improvement. And that temporarily puts me in P7. So one thing that I noticed while qualifying is that the force feedback in my controller stopped working. I'm not sure why or when it happened, but all of a sudden I'm like, wait, I don't feel anything rumbling when I touch the rumble strips or start spinning my tires, and I wasn't sure what was going on, and it certainly was not hurting my performance. I am still running good laps. As you can see right there, I ran a 37.7. That is the best time I've ever ran. And here you can see I'm checking my settings to see why I have no force feedback. Everything's at 100%, so I'm not sure what's going on there. And there's Beater doing some burnouts. So the two of us are just messing around, swerving, warming up our tires, although they're probably already really warm. And there it is, qualifying over. We are starting P6 after running a 37.7. Liker starts first, War L second, Captain Beefheart third for the main event. I am running a 3-stop, pitting on lap 7, 14, and then lap 20. Bearder is doing a 2-stop, pitting on lap 9 and then 18. So a bit of a scrappy opening lap there. I got into Gurgi. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but I got into him a little bit, and it looked like he held up the rest of the pack. So we are clear of them in the top 5, battling Viva Midnight, who will be our biggest competitor in this race, as we will see later on. Oh, and there you see I got into the dirt and spun sideways, made a little bit of contact, kept going, didn't lose too much time, but I did lose 2 positions. So in this lap, we had a difficult time. Here I get into the side of Bison, and then he dives back on the inside, pushes me out of the way, which I'm fine with. I gave him a pretty big hit, which is my fault, although I did give him room to get back on the track. And there he makes a mistake again, and I dive it on the inside, but we both go wide and he gets off the track, and I hold on to 6th place. Here's a replay. He took a weird line going into that turn, and I make contact, but then here he dives on the inside when I'm already on the curb. I didn't really appreciate it, but It is what it is. We continue. He goes off track just slightly there. He didn't spin out, fortunately. But here I dived on the inside. I kind of missed the apex, or maybe run wide, and he also ran wide and hit the wall. But after the race, he was pretty upset, and I'm not sure on this part. I didn't touch him, and yeah, he had a pretty bad re-entry onto the track. I don't really mean to be rude, but I didn't really cause too much. I did make really hard contact with him out of turn 5, but I did give him room to get back on the track. And then later in the lap, when we both ran wide, I didn't make contact, and he said in a report that I spun him out and made him crash in front of other drivers. As you can see in the replay, we both ran wide out of that turn. He hits the wall, and when trying to rejoin the track, he spins sideways. I would say I'm clear of that part. Anyways, we move on. We're on lap 5 now. I am in P6, trying to hold off Deef, but at the same time trying to attack Viva Midnight in front of us. I'm not sure who that is in front of him. I think that is Gurgi. And again, I dip my tires in the grass. I run wide, didn't spin, but I lost my position to Deef. That is really frustrating. I really cut that mistake out in my practice runs, and I'm not sure why I made the same mistake twice in 5 laps. So that is really, really annoying for me. I lost a lot of time because of it, but now we have to gain it back. That long left-hander is so satisfying to get right. Same with turn 1, going downhill into the first turn. Also very, very satisfying. Also, like I mentioned, this is my first YouTube video, so hopefully you guys don't find my voice annoying. I do, but I am enjoying this series so far, participating. I am competitive, and I'm also pretty creative. I love editing videos, graphic design, so I am excited for that. Looking forward to that the rest of the season. There we just made a lot of contact with Deef, and I feel bad, but we continue on, and I pit. I am pitting this lap, lap 7, sticking to the 3-stop strategy. Perfect stop into the box, and we're set to go. I do not need to wait for fuel in this 3-stop strategy. I don't need to worry about it at all. And you can see right here, Fenrir almost hits me as I exit the pits. That was such a close call, but fortunately he just backed off enough and didn't hit the side of my car. We continue on. We are on fresh tires. The drivers ahead of me, I assume, are doing a 2-stop because they did not pit with me on lap 7. I assume they're going to pit soon here on lap 9 or 10. It's important for me here to run as many clean laps as I can, not make any mistakes, and take advantage of these fresh tires while everyone else is on really old tires. We are running 150% tire wear, but 50% fuel consumption. So that really opens up the strategy and lets people mess around with different amount of pit stops. And here I catch Bearder, but fortunately we timed it perfectly. He pits, gets out of my way, and I have a clear shot at Bison ahead of me. He also still needs to pit. You can see his car smoking from the accident earlier in the race. And I get a time penalty, and so does Captain Beefheart right behind me. So we lose some time there, as I need to get clear of Bison here as soon as I can, so I'm not being held up since he is on old tires. Here we make slight contact. He also reported that on his point of view it does look really bad, but I don't think that's penalty worthy. He did pit, and now I'm on very clean track. No one ahead of me. Again, just gotta take advantage of these fresh tires while I got them. They are 45% worn at this point, so I still got a few more laps to go before my next pit stop on lap 14. Captain Beefheart here behind me, he does have 2 lap fresher tires, so he is going to catch up on me pretty quickly. There he is. Much faster than I thought. I found that a little bit strange because he was right behind me when he came out of the pits. As we saw, we both got a corner cut, so I'm not sure why he got so far behind and is just barely catching me now. And then he gets a corner cutting I just saw just a few seconds ago. Now I'm being double teamed by both of the orange cars. I don't know what team they're on. I get hooked into the first turn, take a very shallow line, and unfortunately have to let him go. I make a little bit of contact, and I lost a lot of time there battling with them. Our bumpers just barely hooked on to each other into the first turn. Here's a replay of these incidents. Ignore the blinking car. He got such a good run on me out of these last 2 turns. He's literally right here pushing me down the front straightaway. I get hooked, take a bad entry, and they get clear of me. So that sucked. But we continue on again. At the end of that lap, I am pitting here. Lap 14, again sticking with our strategy. Again, another perfect stop in the box. Don't need to wait for fuel, and I am going. And here, Viva Midnight is also pitting for the first time. He is doing a 1-stop strategy. So because of that, he does not need a pit anymore. He is done. His strategy is complete. So that means I need to get past him as soon as I can. I cannot wait much longer to get past him because I still need to make one more stop. So I need to put as much distance between us, and I need to make this move now. I cannot wait any longer as I get a great run into turn 1. We're so evenly matched. We're both on the same percentage of tires. I get a great run here on his bumper. He defends the inside line well, and he stays ahead of me as we're approaching the slower car of Bison, who's on older tires, and I get past him. I push him off track just a little bit, but I think that's okay. He didn't complain, and great hard racing here with Viva. And Bison, I make a little bit of contact again with him, and I need to get clear of him. And then I get hit into the wall, which I didn't appreciate, but I'm not gonna get mad and report that. Now I need to get past Viva again, so I'm losing so much time here battling with these 2 guys. I really need to get clear of Viva. I am going to pit in 3 laps, so if I am behind Viva before I pit, I think we are screwed for the last one. You can see there Viva got a bad entry. I tried to go around the outside, cut on the inside, get side by side, amazing crossover move. He gets stuck in the grass, and I make the overtake. That made me proud. That was a great move. Honestly, really proud of that. I faked the outside, cut the inside. Here's a replay of it. You got a bad run out of that turn. Did the crossover move. Well done. I'm not trying to brag, but yeah, that was a great move. There's Gurgi in the pits. That is his final stop of this race. So he should be catching up to us pretty quickly. He's on fresh tires while we are on 28% worn tires left. Starting lap 20, this is our in lap. You can see I'm putting a decent gap on Viva Midnight behind us, which is great for our strategy. I need to put as much time as I can between us because I am pitting at the end of this lap and he is not. He's going to the end. And there's Captain Beefheart, not Gurgi actually, right behind us. He's on fresh tires, I am on 0 tires now. I'm going to let him go and be courteous, not get in his way. But at the same time, you can see Viva Midnight is right behind us. I did not gain any time on him that run, which really sucks. Final stop. Don't need to worry about fuel again, just 4 tires, and we're out of there. So I only have 6 laps to catch up to Viva Midnight and pass him before the end of this race. So let's do a time lapse and get on with it. There's the end of the time lapse. We have 2 laps to go in this race, and there is Viva Midnight. We caught up to him. We're so close to him, but we have 8% tires left. It's going to be really close. I need to gain on him. I need to catch up to him before my tires hit 0. Otherwise we'll be evenly matched and my advantage of fresh tires is gone, and we hit 0 tires. And that may be it. I ran 6 perfect laps. I did as well as I could in that last run to try to gain on Viva, but we lost too much time in previous runs and it cost us here in the end. Just 1 lap to go. We are in P7. Now all I gotta do is just make sure I don't make any mistakes that cost me P7, like spinning out or corner cutting penalties, because we are not going to catch Viva Midnight, unfortunately. That sucks, but for my first league race, coming out of the final turn, to finish P7 is a great result. I'll take it. There's the race results for the main event. I finished P7, Bearder unfortunately in 10th. Looked like he was a lap down, but that was great. I had a lot of fun for my first race. Had a great time. Again, thank you to Bearder for inviting me and asking me to join this team, Bearder Racing. I really appreciate it. So here are the standings after the first round. Activities in first, 66 points. Bearder Racing, we are in 5th with 17 points. In the drivers, I am in 7th with 11 points. Bearder in 10th with 6 points. Really excited for the rest of the season, and I hope you guys join me for the next race.